What's up guys, Dave here with another episode of El Jardín Perdido. I usually wouldn't be filming at night, but I just did some cuttings of some mulberries to propagate, and I figured why not show you guys how to do the same with figs, which are virtually the same. Anyway, let's get on with it. Alright, so some things you'll need. Cutting. This is fresh off the fig tree, and I'm gonna section this off into a few pieces. You will need something to label with, pruning shears, and or a knife. You'll see why. And actually I use these, it's kind of optional, but for this method I'm gonna use a gallon water jug to create kind of a little mini greenhouse. All right. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut at a 45 right below one of the first nodes. I'm gonna disregard this because it's kind of curvy and I want mine to be more straight. So this will be the bottom, and I'm approximating here, but I'm gonna go to the next node and cut right below it. And so this will be kind of the size of my cuttings here. So I'm going to follow that up, go right below the next node at a 45. And we're going to do it one more time, right below this node. Shabbat. All right, so we have 4. This is more just for fun and demonstrational purposes. We have 4 to work with here. Now when I say you'll need a knife, what I'm gonna do is score the bottom portion here about an inch down here. Not all the way around, just kind of tease it up a little bit. And the root should come out of the node here, but also around the same vicinity. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with the rest of these cuttings. I'd usually be a little less crass with this, but it's nighttime and I have work early in the morning, but thought I'd take advantage of this opportunity. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay, so all 4 have been slightly scored there. We're going to put those to the side for a sec. And I'm going to get a pot and fill it with some well-draining potting soil. It's just organic potting mix. Some people use perlite if you want that moisture, but not a lot of water retention. So I'm going to go ahead and fill a pot up for you guys. Okay, we're back. And another thing I forgot to mention was a rooting hormone. I like this. It's Take Root by Safegarden, not endorsed, but it's powdery, works really well. So what I did was filled this guy up, pre-moistened it. You can propagate these individually, but some will take, some won't. I'd much rather have them root all together and just kind of transplant them out. Once you've done this a few times, you learn to conserve time and effort. So we have our cuttings here. What we're gonna do is take each one, lightly dab it in there and get a nice coat on there. And we're just gonna stick it straight in. Almost as far as it'll go into this pot. That seems to be good. So we've got about halfway in, halfway out. It's not a ridiculous cutting. It's probably only a total of 5-6 inches there. We're going to continue. Kind of debating whether to put that wonky one in, but you know what? Sometimes the weird ones take off the best. Okay, so there we are, nice and straight. Now we're going to take that gallon and peel off the paper here. I'm just going to cut around here real quick. Okay, and so that's going to fit nicely over this, and I'm just going to rest it on top of here. This allows airflow, so you're not going to get root rot as likely. It's not self-contained, so you will want to check on the soil moisture. It'll retain a lot of moisture, which cuttings need, but it will need to be monitored at least every couple of days to make sure things don't completely dry out, but it'll keep it nice and moist, still getting airflow, less susceptible to rot. People do this in a number of different ways. I've seen some people take this water bottle, for instance. They'll put a bunch of cuttings in here with just a few inches of water, and they'll wait till the nodes really start to swell, and then they'll do it. I've done that before, but I live in Houston, Texas, and with the heat the way it is, it's susceptible to rot. Also, you're gonna want to keep your little greenhouse here somewhere in the shade. We are just about to break into spring in a few weeks here. I'm in Houston, Texas. It's dipping down to the 40s. If it dips down that much, I might take them inside, but they are in dormancy. They're figs, you know, they're not tropical, so they'll be okay with that. But you don't want to do this in the middle of the summer in the blazing heat, and you don't want to do it when you're too far away from spring in the middle of the winter, because if they're still in dormancy, they're not going to start working on roots or anything. As the buds are breaking here, it's going to take the internal energy that's in there and use it on the buds, but it'll also use that photosynthesis from the budding to start establishing some roots there. So spring is definitely prime time for that, transplanting, and many other things. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, feel free to comment if you'd like some more information, or you have a different take, or you'd like to see me try to propagate cuttings from something else I have before, citrus, etc. Anyway, as always, guys, thanks for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with what I've got going on next. All right, thanks.